Hi guys, Rob from Iceboxauto here. Today just going to show you today's lovely install, which is on a L322 Vogue. Also fits the Autobiography too. This is what you see at the moment is the actual Android Auto, which is already boosted up for the purpose of the video, just to save a bit of time. It is a dual app, so excuse me, if you've got an Apple phone it will bring up Apple CarPlay, and this is the interface for the Android Auto there, so obviously you can go into the full screen there. As you can see, nice and swift and responsive. This is just the Google Maps, which is on at the moment. There you go, look how quickly that is there. And obviously this brings over text messaging apps, music apps, navigation apps, podcasts and stuff like that. As you can see, that's just basically one on our phone. Ultimately, this is our latest Android 14 unit, which has just been released the last couple of weeks. Comes with 464 gig as standard, and this is what you see is the, as I say, the Android Auto app. This is an app which is put onto the Android operating system. So if you're not too sure about what I'm talking about, then obviously get in touch with us, give us a call. Quite happily speak to you over the phone about it. Okay, so we'll just go to exit there. So this is the main home page to the, what you call it, I don't think this is a swiping one, this one, to be honest with you. So you have your three main menu interfaces on here, which is obviously, and a few little apps down here. Let me just double check. No, it's not. Obviously, I say I always get unexpected on when systems come out and newly releases. I always find new things about them. But as I say, you can change this interface if you want, just by simply downloading a skin app like a Gamma, Car Launcher, Car Guru, or anything like that. Again, happy to speak to you over the phone about that if you want to know a little bit more information on there. Okay, so this has gone into a 2003 car today. It is a little bit more easy to install on that one there because it goes off the old BMW connections, so you probably have two plugs that come out the back of your old screen, two little small plugs. You will have a cable for that, or if you've got the 40-pin connection, which is a quad lock cable, comes out the old screen. Either one will do that. You'll also get the cable in the package for that, so it caters for both needs. Your DSP amp needs to be fully functioning. What you'll find today is this customer who's brought it to has had a lot of water ingress, which is quite common on these cars at the back, and his amp is actually faulty. It's got a lot of water in it, so obviously he's going to have to get that replaced. It's quite happy for us to install it. So today I can show you the functionality of the system, but I can't show you any sound. It does work with the steering wheel controls. Let me just show you that 1 second. Have a little look. See, as you can see, it works with the steering, but again, just because the customer's got issues with existing amp in the back of the car, you're not going to get any sound. Okay, so going back to this here, there's your radio interface here. So that is your FM AM radio. You can all have, it does have RDS, so we'll show you the station name and obviously all your pre-programs down here and some options there for the radio setup. Just going back out to here, there's your Bluetooth. So this is where you pair your phone to, and also has music streaming. So if you've got any music on your phone, you can stream it through there too. Also a few little icons, shortcut nav icons down here. That's your film one there, so that's where you can watch your movies on a pen drive. As you can see, it's full HD screen. This is just a demo video that the factory put on there just to make sure that you test it when you're installing, make sure the sound's working. As we know, this one isn't on this car. This app here takes you to a browser, so it looks like, let's have a little look, Google browser, this one here. So obviously you can do any internet searching for our products, iceboxauto.com. Let me go back on there for a second. Sorry guys, I'll just press that one there. There you go. That one's a gallery, it looks like. Again, stupid app showing pictures on there. This one's a music app, so you can play your music off a pen drive if you want to do it that way. This one, let's have a look at that one. Okay, that takes you into the File Manager app. It's basically if you want to put any apps on there which are not on the Play Store, IA, IPTV, anything like that, you can do it through getting your app onto a USB pen and uploading it through there. Let's go back out here. This is your settings app, so obviously this is where you change some of the back end settings like your Wi-Fi connections, SIM card. Also it comes with a SIM card holder, so ultimately you can connect your phone's hotspot to it through this Wi-Fi here if you want to give it an internet connection. Alternatively, you can get a SIM card, data only, and put it into the SIM card holder, which is a cable that comes with it, and get your internet connection that way. Display, sound, GPS storage apps, settings here, temperature, video motion. That video motion is the switch to allow the screen to work when the car is active. A lot of the safety features don't allow that these days. Camera, image, backlight, reverse sound, mute and stuff like that. This one is, let me have a look, see if the password's right. So this takes you into the back end settings. You don't really need to change any of this without our authorization. As I say, a lot of people want to have a little nose in there, so obviously the password's 3368. but as I say, this is stuff that you tend not to want to choose. Okay, so that one there, yeah, that UI home launcher search, the fact you tend to put a few of them UIs on there, which basically just means it changes the homepage layout, but again, it's probably just preset to 1 on this one. You can change it yourself by downloading apps from the Play Store. Okay, one here about your factory reset. So obviously that will require a password, which again is 3368. So if you ever want to do a factory reset on the system, it's always good to do a factory reset after a day of use. Only reason being is the systems need a little bit of time to bed into the car. And what we mean by that is basically when you do a system, it's basically made in the factory, it's made by a machine, finished off by hand, blah blah blah. What they can't do is test how it's going to communicate in between the car's CAN bus. So when you put this system in here, it's got a link to all the car's CAN bus for information, display, steering wheel controls, all that type of stuff. So it can pick up the odd little connection bug in the first 24 hours. Easily fixed, just do a factory reset. So just use the system for a day, do all your connections, or even use it for 5 minutes. Make sure you do all your Bluetooth connections, Wi-Fi, do a factory reset, and then start all over again. It just optimizes the system, clears out any little bugs that it'll pick up on first use, which is very common in this industry. 1 second, what was it on then? I was set up there, wasn't I? Okay, and this last one here is just time settings, developer options and stuff like that. Okay, let's go back and show all the apps on the system. Press this one here, and there's your where all your applications go into. So any downloaded ones from the Play Store will go into here. This one's your aux, so obviously if you wanted to link anything like a digital TV box to the aux in, you can do it that one. Bluetooth, gone through that before, calculator, whatever. This CarLink one is your CarPlay and your Android Auto apps. Obviously this is where we were playing around with the system before when we first started the video, and that just takes you, that's like a shortcut to there too. Chrome, which is obviously Google Chrome. Controls, this is your steering wheel control menu, where you set up your steering wheel controls. The equalizer, okay, so it's got a built-in DSP sound processor, so if you're into your speakers and your outputs, amplifiers, subwoofers and all that type of stuff, you can alter all this here. There's a lot of customization to change the output on the system. As you can see, it's quite a lot more to what you'd normally expect with your bars, your vertical bars with people. That's what you normally get there, but people tend to want a lot more to it these days. So that's got a good feature to it. File manager, which I showed you. Gallery, pretty rubbish. Google Maps, as you would know, I think everyone's used Google Maps before. Uses an internet connection, so you do need to connect your phone to it. But again, you can use the Android Auto CarPlay app and get it through there. That's got no internet connection, by the way, so that's why you're not getting nothing. Music player, I showed you before. Navi, showed you that before. Operation guide, that's your built-in e-manual. The factories hate giving you paper versions now. Reason being is because they update the Android series in-house, so every time you do a paper version of like Android 13 and then it goes 14 in-house, they just end up with loads of paperwork lying around the office, so they tend to just not send you the paper version and put it onto there anyway. Play Store, okay, that's where you download all your applications to. Again, another app that needs an internet connection, so you're not going to see anything at the moment, but obviously that's where you log in and get all your apps from. Radio, went to that before. Settings, touch assist, not really relevant. Okay, this is an important one here. So this is your vehicle settings app. So as you can see, it shows a lot of information from the car's computer. And I'll just go back onto the vehicle settings. And this one's where you can change the amp settings on the DSP. This setting here, like language settings, that tends to be relatable towards what's on the dash. So you can change that to English UK. Speed activation, speed limit, fuel consumption. This is in miles per gallon. Also, you can change it to kph, kml, should I say. Distance, mileage, memo, meter format, AUD plus OBC. Don't know what that is. Sorry. Distance and restore factory settings. And this one here's a car CD. I've not come across a car CD in the L322. But when I was playing around with the system before, when I was pressing that, it was coming up with like menus. So I can only relate this car doesn't have a CD changer, and that doesn't work with it. Again, I haven't come across a Vogue before with the CD changer in all our installs, like so. Whether that works decent enough on the car CD changer, it should do. Because it works off the same sort of software as our Bentley units, which do work with the CD changer in the car. But as I said before, we were playing around with this before we put it in the car, and that was showing something. It's not now, but as I say, I think we might have changed the CAN settings on there to say it hasn't got one, and that's obviously not working there. So, okay guys, I'll bring it to an end. Hope you liked the video. Give us a shout if you need us. I'll put all the contact details down below in the description, and also the link to the product. Again, this is the 12.3 version. If your car is the newer version, you do get an extra panel down below here, which is the air vent panel, but on this older car and one of the mid-range cars, you'd only get the screen only. So bear that in mind. And also we've got a 10.25 inch screen version, which is just a screen to go with the original frame of the car. This part here, you can see at the side, this actually comes with the screen itself on the 12.3 on this car. With the 10.25 you don't get that because it works with the original one. So okay, hope you liked the video. You have a nice day now. It's actually boiling here. Take care now. Bye bye.